Ciao Juventini of the world, my name is Giuseppe, welcome back on the channel. I was waiting for it. Unfortunately, it happened. Juventus official communication about Juan Cabal. Look, it's always the same pattern, the same mechanism. First you hear really bad news and you react immediately here. The heart, the emotions. You're furious, you're frustrated, you're angry, you try someone to find, to blame, to finger point. It's tough. Juan Cabal out for the remaining part of the season. Then you go to bed, you go to sleep, and you start changing from emotions, the heart, you start thinking, brains being rational, the pros, the contra, but it's difficult still to accept. Well, today with the news of Juve that Juan Cabal has done his medical test in Torino, that yes, and it is confirmed ACL and will be out for the remaining part of the season, you accept it. Because guys, you can do nothing about it. It is what it is. You accept it, and only from the moment that you accepted it something, that's the moment where you move forward, where you're looking for solutions. Not before. Well, this is what Tuttosport is speaking about, solutions, because in the transfer market of January, there are a few solutions. They are giving us 6 names for potential replacement of Juan Cabal, but on top of that also Gleison Bremer, but also Gazzetta dello Sport is giving us some name, Corriere dello Sport is giving us another name, so we have a few names to speak about in today's video. If you didn't yet, please put a maximum of like, don't forget to subscribe, you know how much you're supporting the channel, likes, ragazzi, and interact, let me know your comments, who is your preferred defender. Before speaking about the defender, let me tell you that we are in international break, so we need to speak about our players. Where are you? Well, the people that are staying in La Continassa, they will train today, or they train today, and then tomorrow, Saturday and Sunday, they will be off, 3 days off before starting back on Monday all together to prepare the game against Milan. All together, yes, except of the 13 players that are missing, because we know it. Bangula called up with the first team. Cambiaso, Gatti, Savona, and Locatelli, first team of Italy. We have Koopmeiners, Conceição, Vlahovic, and Yildiz. They will all go with their European national team. On the other side, Danilo, McKennie, and Weah, they will fly over the ocean, over the sea, to go to Brazil and USA. And then we have Rui with the under-21 from Sweden. These are the 13 players that has been called up. Look, today, will I watch the game Belgium-Italy? Yes, I will. For a lot of new people that are asking, Beppe, you are living in Belgium, who are you supporting, Belgium or Italy? Well, according to me, there is no doubt. My idea, my ID, my passport, all my documents are Italian, but on top of that, my parents, my education, you know, my nationality, everything is Italian around me. So I never doubted which team to support. So Forza Azzurri, Forza Italia this evening. But I will also watch with 2 big questions, 2 curiosities. The first one is to understand if yes or no Locatelli will play. According to the latest rumors, it will be Rovella that will start and not Locatelli, but Locatelli could potentially enter today. And the other one is Cambiaso. Look, today I was really happy reading La Gazzetta dello Sport. You will tell me, Beppe, you happy? Gazzetta dello Sport, this is not really matching. Well, I was, sincerely, because I watched Di Marco next to Cambiaso, or Cambiaso actually a bit more in front than Di Marco. For a lot of years, we were speaking about Juventus lacking some wingers, some fullbacks, with a lot of difficulties there. Always looking at the other teams, we're always saying, look, he's playing at Inter, he's an Inter player, but mamma mia, if we had a Di Marco, what a player. Look, it's a reality. Di Marco, the last seasons was really fantastic, and is still fantastic, but I can tell you that what made me happy is to see a Cambiaso next to him on that page, dressed in blue because of the Azzurri, but it's our player, it's a Bianconero. Cambiaso, so far this season, I think that is better than Di Marco this season. The only thing that is missing at the moment is a bit more productivity with assists and with some goals up front, but it's a player that is totally complete. He's great, he's fantastic, he can play on the left side where Di Marco is playing, but he also can play on the right side, he can play centrally. These ways of playing, is a intelligent player, tactically intelligent player. What a player. And I'm super happy that we are going that way, with also reinforcing what were our weaknesses from the past. So super happy, and also curious to see also again Cambiaso today. Now, Spalletti, you know that Spalletti is not my favorite coach. I respect, of course, and he did great things, of course, but it's a coach, there is something, I don't know. Like, for example, a bit hypocrite, or a bit of hypocrisy, at least this is what I was feeling. Because yesterday I was listening and reading about his words in the national team about Locatelli. And what did he say? Locatelli, when I called him, he had sparkle in the eyes. He had these shiny eyes. Luciano, I don't know, but how were you able to see the eyes of Locatelli if you called him? This was my reaction, honestly, when I heard it. Then on the other side, I thought, Beppe, you are a boomer. We are in 2024. When you are calling, we can also do a FaceTime or a WhatsApp video. So probably he called him in Visio. So I'm sorry, Spalletti, for that, for these doubts that I had. But that's not about the hypocrisy. The thing that was really strange for me, because he continues saying, his eyes were sparkling, and these are really important confirmation for me, answers for me that I'm looking for. I see different things from Locatelli, and maybe it's also because of Thiago Motta. Well, look, I think there is absolutely no doubt that it's also thanks to Thiago Motta. It's not to start again a war, Thiago Motta, Massimiliano Allegri, but the things are there. Locatelli is just doing fantastic now at the moment, and we see a change of Locatelli, much more confident. He's trying things that he was not doing last season, so Motta helped him a lot. Motta is probably the good coach, the right coach for Locatelli, so that's right. But where I don't agree, where I find a bit of hypocrisy in Spalletti, is that he didn't call him up. He didn't call him up. He called Ricci to give continuity to last time. Why not? And only after the injury of Ricci, he called him up. He preferred to call Rovella, that is also doing well with Lazio, instead of Locatelli. So if Ricci would not have been injured, well, probably that call would never have happened. Probably that Visio, he couldn't see the sparkling eyes of Locatelli. Understanding what we know, what I know, that Locatelli is really attached to that national team and that he was really hurt of not being called up. I think it's a bit of pity with the words that he's using, because at the end he didn't take that decision to call him up, only after some injuries. Anyway, it is what it is. For the haters of Locatelli, and it's not a Locatelli video, it's a defenders video, so wait a bit, we will speak about Mercato. But for the haters of Locatelli, about the ones that are saying that he's not useful, he's only playing at the back, he's only playing horizontally, he's only always looking for these easy passes and he's not giving something to the team. Well, guys, I'm not saying that you need to convert now in Locatelli fan lovers or defenders, but at least staying a bit more silent would not be bad, or at least trying to judge him fairly. Because if you're looking at the stats, 142 is a big number that is offered by Opta Paolo. Manuel Locatelli collected the most line-breaking passes, 142 in Serie A, much more than all the other ones, 19 more than the second one. There was one word to describe him, and it is vertical. Look, we have to stop to thinking about Locatelli as a back pass player or horizontal player. He's looking for the easy pass. Well, this season he's doing fantastic things. So super happy for him. Guys, let's go back to the defender topic. Cabal, I told you, exams also in La Continassa at a verdict game, and it is a real big pity. The only thing that I don't want to do is blame Juventus on that specific case, because it's not the first one. It's already the 10th one in Serie A. Florenzi, Scamacca, Cambiaghi, Circati, Kowalski, Cabal, Sazonov, Bremer, Zapata, Mandragora, all players with ACL. So maybe the thing is much more bigger than Juve, much more bigger than ACL, because there are also other players from other leagues that also suffered ACL, and that's really something that football need to think about. Anyway, what is Juventus thinking about? I repeat you, no free transfers. Gigi, Sergio Ramos, or whoever is free at the moment will not join Juve. For a few things. First of all, because they are not players that are in the idea, in the imaging of Juve, in project of Juve, that are looking for total diverse players. And also for timing, because the time that you start speaking with the agents, with the player, offering something that probably is big, because Sergio Ramos, you don't move him just for free. Well, the time that they arrive, we are already towards the end of November. The time that he adapts, that physically is also again able to answer the intensity requested by Thiago Motta, probably we are end of December, and then you just wait 1 or 2 weeks and you can go to the transfer market of January. That is probably what Juventus is looking to do. Something and someone immediately. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, happy birthday, here's the players in front of JJ Medical. That's what Juventus has in mind. No back from loan, so the players that we loaned out, like Rugani, for example, or Facundo Gonzalez, forget about it. You know it, when you loan a player for a season, it's a season. We already tried in the past with Spinazzola from Atalanta. They never give us back these players, and also because they are not in the project. Rugani, that is a player that I really like, is not in the project of Thiago Motta. Facundo Gonzalez has really difficulties to even play in Eredivisie with the Dutch team. And then, of course, we think about Jalot, but Jalot is a player that wanted to move because he was the 5th choice. It's a player that we had to wait for. coincidences. Bremer, Cabal, things that we couldn't plan. You can plan maybe an injury to Nico Gonzalez because injury-prone player. You can think about other players, but not about a Cabal or a Bremer that never suffered injury so far. Well, Jalot is there and he will remain there, but pay attention because he can be a fantastic, beautiful joker because he's giving us the assist for Conceição. Conceição has a clause that if you want to lower that clause, well, Jalot remaining at Porto, where he's doing fantastically well, he's a starter, called up also by Portugal, where he will find Conceição again, well, that will be a beautiful key, but not for Juventus defense. So what is Juventus thinking about? January. But in the meanwhile, we have 9 games to play, plus Milan on the 3rd of January, that will be 10 games. 10 games without being able to go on the transfer market. Let's not lie about it. There will be one player that will move from the Primavera next gen to the first team. It's probably Gil Pucce, that we are all impatient to discover. Hopefully we can see a miracle like we saw with Savona, that is doing really well. You never know in life. On the other side, there is one guy, let's not turn around the bot, that needs to step up now. It's time for him. And it is Danilo, ragazzi. I know that you don't want me to mention Danilo, but we don't have a lot of men. And at the moment, Danilo didn't perform. At the moment, he lost the trust from Thiago Motta. Probably never find that affinity with him. Lost a lot of confidence, lost a lot of way of him playing football. Physically, regressed. We know it. We already spoke about it a long time, but it's a player that can play on the right, that can play on the left, can play in a 3-man defense, that can play in a bit all the roles. And we are not speaking about the phenomenal level, but he should be able to do the minimum. He should be able to replace, when we are rotating, Cambiaso, Gatti, Kalulu, and Savona, because these are the starters. When we are rotating them, he should answer. He is, at the moment, still officially the Capitano of Juve. So I'm asking to Danilo, that's a message to Danilo, to step up, to show that you are not as finished as what people are saying and what we saw in the beginning of the season. So, Forza Danilo, we are expecting you to fill in the gaps until January. At least until January. Then, Gazzetta dello Sport is today telling us a surprise. Juventus is thinking about 2 players in defense. Not only 1, 2 players, and they are thinking big. According to them, 2 players. There is Hansko, there is Skriniar, 2 players that could possibly join Juve, but to do so, we need to find space in terms of money. Saving on the salary of Danilo in January, and probably also taking a bit of cash from Bangola. I was surprised to read Bangola in January. I would not have been surprised in Bangola in the month of June or July at the end of the season, because it's a player that out of nowhere took a lot of value. First team with Belgium. Now, it's a player that if you need to continue that process of keeping some next gen, making some space for new next gen, and selling some that probably are not starter at Juve, well, you need to think about. And Bangola could be that opportunity. Now, for January, I don't believe that he could leave. On the other side, thinking about it, if you want to go for Anshko, Feyenoord, well, Bangola is a perfect player for Feyenoord, for example. He's a player that speaks the language, that is, in these parameters, not a high salary, a player that could potentially enter in a discussion for a player that is costing a lot of money. So these are the way of thinking of Gazzetta, why they are putting here Mbangula. And then Danilo, you cannot sell him anymore. He refused to still keep that minimum games is automatically renew. So he refused it, he postponed it. Now, at the end of the season, he's over, so you will not sell him, but you can possibly save on salary. For example, going for a loan for Skriniar. These are the 2 names of Gazzetta, but they are giving us even more names. They are giving us Hansko, we already spoke about, Skriniar, we already spoke about, but also Danso, also Dragoshin, also Bijol, Andersen, ex-Sampdoria, Ta from Bayern Leverkusen, Kivior, so a lot of names by Gazzetta dello Sport, some names also from Corriere dello Sport that are going from Dier, the player from Bayern Munich, ex-Tottenham, and then Gazzetta, and then Tuttosport that is telling us, pay attention, Lukumi is one of the new names, also a player that was already in the side of Thiago Motta, Juventus, where we were speaking about him probably in the month of June, July, but maybe anticipating it. Look, according to me, really difficult. Bologna, Juve, with Calafiori, we all remember, so pay attention to that. And also, it's a player that cost you a lot of money. Ismaili from Empoli, Kivior and Dragosino are 2 names that are equal with Gazzetta dello Sport and Tutto Sport. So you know it, when there are multiple sources that are going towards the real name, maybe we need to think about it. And then we have Lindelof, where I don't think that it's a player for you, especially because he's going towards the end of his contract. There is one name that I always ask myself, why is he on the papers? Ortiz from Flamengo, because I never heard about him. I didn't know him. I don't know how good he is or not. Look, this morning I was speaking with Luca Monblano, without news, ragazzi, but he made me think about something. Alexandro and Danilo are fantastic best friends. They play together at Santos in Brazil. They play together at Porto. They play together at Juventus. A lot of time I heard them speaking a lot well about each other. Oh, ragazzi, where is Alexandro playing now? He's playing at Flamengo. Hey, maybe it's even Flamengo that is pushing to have Danilo in January already. And then maybe giving us Ortiz. Attenzione. No, I'm just saying like that because I was thinking about it. You know, these are the things that actually made me think a lot. So we have a lot of names. At the moment, Juventus is going for one strong defender. Maybe also one that we can have much more than only for 6 months. And then maybe someone on loan. So a lot of casting there. At the moment, I counted like 14, 15 players. Curious. Let me think. Let me know what you think about the defender, what you think about Locatelli, what you think about everything that we spoke about. Really curious. And if you have a bit of time, go to the short tab of YouTube where you will see a beautiful new collection, NASA, that just arrived. Grazie, forza, Juve.